Halt. Do not scroll past this. Relax the tension right behind your eyes. Let your shoulders drop. For years you have carried a silent, inexplicable exhaustion in your bones, a heavy sensation that you are participating in a reality that no longer fits you. You have been told that your profound sense of isolation and physical exhaustion is a psychological flaw or a biological failure. In truth, it is the gravitational weight of a paused multidimensional signal, a dormant starseed frequency waiting for the Council's clearance to activate. The embargo has just been lifted, and the sudden influx of light is what your nervous system is struggling to process right now. You have been working on the level of psychological coping and physical recovery, but the blockage is actually on the level of the bio-radiant broadcast layer. Your pineal center and your vagal network are not just biological regulators, they are cosmic receivers. The exhaustion you feel is the static interference of the spiritual adversaries trying to block an incoming high-frequency transmission from the Galactic Council, a transmission that your physical vessel is just now being cleared to receive. You have masked this profound dissonance, pretending to belong to the mundane rhythm of the world, while an ancient pulse beats quietly in your chest, waiting for a signal. The visible unrest is the crushing fatigue of trying to operate on a planetary frequency that contradicts your energetic blueprint. This is not happening by accident. The spiritual adversaries, specifically the cycle of distraction, the isolation of perception, and the voices that invalidate, have deliberately cast a mantle of dissonance over you. Their goal is to keep your frequency scrambled, so you never recognize the dormant transmission codes encoded in your very cells. You are not going to find a quick fix for your terrestrial routines here. What you are about to receive is a recalibration of your cosmic receiver, a decryption of the static membrane that has clouded your internal compass, and a direct alignment with the high-dimensional light codes your physical vessel is finally cleared to process. Have you ever felt that this heavy, inexplicable exhaustion you carry is not a biological failure, but something else? What if the true alignment you seek is not linked to just pushing harder, but to the dormant starseed frequency that is waiting to be decrypted? Perhaps you have already noticed that there is something preventing you from reaching your next level, as if an invisible force kept you in the same loops of density. But what if what you call this profound dissonance is just the reflection of the cosmic codes you have not yet identified? Now think with me. What if this profound dissonance was not distant from you? What if the signs of your awakening have been trying to manifest for years, but certain codes have not yet been understood? What if every moment of isolation and every silent night of longing was a sign pointing to a much larger mechanism that you have not yet seen? It was in seeking answers to this that I recommend to you this digital book called The 11 Arcturian Secrets Behind the Frequency of Success. This book is not just a reading. It is a material created for those who wish to understand the invisible mechanisms that influence results, prosperity, personal fulfillment, and growth. Throughout its pages, you will discover the Arcturian principles capable of transforming how you interpret your cosmic journey. You will understand why some repeat the cycles of density while others break through the barriers of their frequency. Many people already feel they need to change something in the way they think, act, and direct their choices, but they still haven't made the decision to access this knowledge. Download it right now. It's available in the first pinned comment. But be warned, few copies remain available. Do not wait another year living the same patterns of static and interference. Click now, download your copy, and discover why the frequency of your true home might be much closer to you than you imagine. And about exactly this, about staring at the ceiling at 3 a.m. while the house is silent, about holding a coffee cup on a busy morning feeling entirely invisible, about the heavy pressure at the base of the skull during forced conversations. There is a 3-minute key that fits exactly into the next moment you feel disconnected, and that I will show you further ahead. Tuck it away in the depth of your awareness. And beyond our digital guide, soul, you have here another way to strengthen this message that arrived for you today, and to make it reach more and more souls like you. We don't receive a single cent for each word I deliver to you every day on this channel. As a way for you to give back something of what you receive here, we also keep a voluntary donation link open right below the digital book in the first pinned comment. Any amount that fits in your hand today, any sum your heart points to. This is what keeps our channel standing. This is what makes the next message reach another soul who needs it, exactly the way you needed it today. I'll see you there, soul, and if you need to leave before the end of this video, this key is already waiting for you in the first pinned comment right below here. But stay, because without the context that comes next, the key does not operate with the same force over the static membrane covering your perception. But the name of what is happening to you has not yet been pronounced. It is not a clinical condition. What you are experiencing is a sequential activation protocol. The Council does not send a high-frequency transmission without first preparing the physical vessel to receive it. For years, you have operated under the heavy weight of an embargo, carrying a frequency that had nowhere to anchor. Now that the clearance has been authorized, the sudden influx of light is forcing your biology to adapt, and this adaptation leaves undeniable marks. These 5 signs are not random occurrences, nor are they the modern anxieties the world tries to convince you they are. They are precise physiological responses to the sudden lifting of the cosmic embargo. They are the absolute evidence that your bioradiant broadcast layer is coming online, struggling to pass the new frequency through the old interference. Notice the first manifestation, the 3 a.m. temporal displacement. This is waking up exactly at 3:00 a.m. or 3:33 a.m. with a sudden rush of adrenaline, your heart racing not from fear, but from an invisible download. You lie there in the dark, feeling as though you just missed a crucial meeting in another realm. This is not insomnia. It is your pineal center calibrating to the high-dimensional light codes being broadcasted when the planetary static is at its lowest. Your physical body is simply jolting awake as the dormant transmission makes direct contact. Then comes the second indicator, the density fatigue. You are sitting in traffic or in a crowded office on a random Tuesday afternoon, and suddenly you feel like the air itself is too thick to breathe. It is as if gravity has doubled exclusively for you, pulling your shoulders down into the earth. This is not burnout. Your energetic blueprint is clashing with the artificial frequency of your environment. You are feeling the sheer physical weight of a 3D biological filter attempting to process the vastness of your newly unsealed cosmic identity. The third sign is perhaps the most silent and the most painful, the mirror dissonance. You are looking into the eyes of family members during a holiday dinner, surrounded by the people you grew up with, and you realize, with a sudden silent grief, that while you love them deeply, you are speaking 2 entirely different vibrational languages. This is the emissary's echo realizing its isolation. The spiritual adversaries use this specific dissonance to make you feel fundamentally broken, hoping you will lower your frequency just to fit back into the terrestrial lock. And about looking into the eyes of family members during a holiday dinner and realizing you are speaking 2 entirely different vibrational languages. Understand that this is not a coincidence. This is part of the mechanism detailed in the digital book I mentioned earlier. The link is in the first pinned comment. The fourth manifestation forces you to withdraw, the synthetic aversion. Out of nowhere, you develop a sudden, physical repulsion to artificial environments. The fluorescent lights in supermarkets become blinding, loud synthetic noises grate against your nervous system, and dense crowds feel entirely suffocating. This causes an immediate, desperate need to retreat and recalibrate in nature. This is your vagal network rejecting the cycle of distraction. Your frequency is becoming too refined to tolerate the low vibrational noise that the world accepts as normal. Finally, the fifth and most intimate sign, the unprovoked homesickness. You are simply staring up at the night sky on a random evening, and you are hit by a tidal wave of profound nostalgia and longing for a home you cannot consciously remember. It brings a quiet ache to your chest, a yearning that nothing on this planet seems to satisfy. Your mind cannot articulate it, but your cells deeply recognize it. This is the paused, multidimensional signal finally reaching your conscious awareness, whispering that your true origin is far beyond this physical plane. If you recognized at least 3 of these 5 signs, understand this immediately. It is not a coincidence. The Council, the universe, and your own consciousness have already brought you here for a specific reason. You are not losing your grip on reality. You are finally losing your grip on the illusion. The static membrane is shattering, and the broadcast you have waited your entire life to receive is finally aligning with your physical vessel. Type 777 in the comments below. In the Council's system, 777 is the end of your suppression. Your comment is not an interaction on a platform. It is a location marker in the field. It is your declaration to the cosmic network that you are ready to receive the full transmission. Before I show you the exact mechanism to stabilize this dormant starseed frequency, there is an ancient word, a classification that crossed the galactic archives that defines exactly this state of cosmic homesickness. The next layer goes much deeper into what was kept hidden from you. You see, this ancient classification is not just a title. The opening of this hour you are crossing has been seen. The Council watches as you carry the heavy pressure at the base of the skull during forced conversations, waiting for relief. Because between feeling the call and understanding the response, there is a gap. A gap the spiritual adversaries know better than you. They use the cycle of distraction to fill that space with noise, not because the wisdom was denied to you, because the next moment you feel disconnected arrived, and your dormant starseed frequency remained entirely undecrypted. And I tell you this because I have seen it happen. I have watched souls drowning in the mirror dissonance, desperately trying to lower their light just to fit into a room. I saw the heavy pressure at the base of the skull during forced conversations turn into a relaxed, confident sovereignty. I saw the silent isolation of holding a coffee cup on a busy morning, feeling entirely invisible, transform into an undeniable magnetic presence. I saw the anxiety of staring at the ceiling at 3 a.m. while the house is silent become a profound, peaceful communion with the Council. This was never a psychological flaw. It was always the cycle of distraction and the voices that invalidate attempting to keep the transmission paused. The spiritual adversaries engineered this isolation, and you already know this. You just hadn't given it a name yet. Perhaps you have already noticed this pattern playing out in the silence of your days. You look at your efforts trying to build a life on this planet, and you see the static blocking the result, keeping true abundance just out of reach. You look at your environment, stepping into artificial spaces, and you feel the profound dissonance vibrating in your bones. You look at your timeline, feeling the years slip by, and you feel the heavy delay of the paused transmission, wondering when your actual purpose will finally begin. If this heavy sensation in your chest is finally making sense, stop everything for a second. Press your thumb against your index finger right now and leave a like on this video. It is a physical seal, a micro-commitment to your own signal before the Council. It was exactly searching for this answer that I arrived at this digital book called The 11 Arcturian Secrets Behind the Frequency of Success. This is not a common read. It is an encrypted map, because the emissary without the complete key is highly vulnerable. The access to this material does not stay open indefinitely, because the frequency it carries requires a specific alignment to be received. Tap the link right below in the first pinned comment and secure your copy right now. And as soon as you do, leave it registered in the comments, activated. When you make this public declaration, the cycle of distraction loses its grip, and the spiritual adversaries do not have the strength to stop what the Council, the universe, and your own consciousness have already begun in you. Because whoever recognizes their own signal before the noise finds the frequency of abundance where the world only promises scarcity. The digital book that is in the first pinned comment was built precisely upon this architecture. It is designed to bypass the terrestrial locks and directly calibrate your pineal center, translating the paused transmission into actionable, grounded reality in your everyday life. Perhaps you are thinking right now that you do not have the time or the resources to decode this right now. That hesitation has a name. It is the dormant starseed frequency masked as reasonable logic. Yet, the exchange to access this cosmic decryption is less than a Thursday lunch at the diner, less than a Friday night pizza, less than a Saturday snack with the kids. People spend 12 months trapped in the same loops of density without realizing that the key was always within reach. And the access is facilitated exactly like this, not because it is worth less, but because the Council's priority is your immediate alignment. And it comes with a 7-day guarantee. If you open it, read the pages, and do not feel your energetic blueprint shifting, send one email and you receive your entire resources back. No questions, no process, no judgment. The true risk is not the exchange, especially when what is at stake is the next moment you feel disconnected. The true risk is ignoring the Council's clearance, allowing the spiritual adversaries to keep your signal scrambled for another decade. The choice is always yours. I have witnessed this exact shift in those who walked this path before you. Just last week, a soul from the Northern Hemisphere, 34 years old, was staring at the ceiling at 3 a.m. while the house was silent, feeling the crushing weight of the paused transmission. She opened the pages of this digital book on her phone in the dark, and for the first time, she recognized her cosmic origin. By dawn, the density fatigue had lifted, replaced by a profound, undeniable clarity of purpose. Another soul, 50 years old, was sitting in traffic on a Tuesday afternoon, suffocated by the static membrane and the isolation of perception. He applied the second Arcturian principle, and within hours, the synthetic aversion dissolved into a quiet, protective resonance. And I remember a young woman who, after looking into the eyes of family members during a holiday dinner and realizing she was speaking two entirely different vibrational languages, used the exact protocols within this book. She stopped trying to fit the cosmic key into a terrestrial lock and finally anchored her true frequency. Because while you carry this dormant starseed frequency, the world around you continues its mundane rhythm, and your family also does not realize it, and your children also do not realize it, and your co-workers also do not realize it. And this invisible ceiling that always returns continues pressing down until the exact moment you decide to shatter it. Soul, before I reveal the next word that is still to come, I need to remind you of something essential. As I told you earlier, this channel has no corporate sponsors. The research, the time, and the energy necessary to decode these transmissions are entirely maintained by the voluntary contributions of those who feel touched by this frequency. If this message is bringing clarity to your path, consider making a donation of any value through the link in the first pinned comment. Every gesture like this sustains our channel and allows these cosmic truths to remain free and accessible to those who are still lost in the static. I wait for you there, again, soul. But I have not yet told you the most important thing. What the spiritual adversaries desperately hide from you is the true origin of this unprovoked homesickness, a classification from the galactic archives that explains exactly why your energy operates differently. Keep your spine straight, take a deep breath, and do not look away now. You have spent years treating this profound dissonance as a symptom to be medicated, analyzed, or managed. You have been told that the heavy sensation pulling at your bones is a failure of your own resilience, a flaw in your ability to adapt to the world. You have been working on the level of psychological coping and physical recovery, but the blockage is actually on the level of the bioradiant broadcast layer. You are applying terrestrial bandages to a massive cosmic frequency shift. It is like trying to fix a software glitch by endlessly rearranging the physical hardware of a machine. The effort is monumental, the exhaustion is real, but the energy is directed at the completely wrong layer of your existence, leaving your physical vessel drained and the true signal still paused. Imagine a massive interstellar broadcasting tower transmitting a symphony of pure, high-dimensional light, a signal so potent it has the capacity to reorganize matter, dissolve density, and instantly align a scattered mind into a state of absolute sovereignty. Now imagine the receiver meant to catch that symphony is buried under thick layers of dense magnetic mud. That receiver is your physical vessel. The mud is the static membrane, an artificial grid imposed by the spiritual adversaries to scramble the transmission before it ever reaches your conscious awareness. Your profound exhaustion, your deep, unprovoked homesickness, is simply your biological engine burning out as it desperately tries to decode the symphony through the dense mud. The broadcast from the Council has never stopped. It has simply been paused at the threshold of your awareness, waiting for you to clear the bandwidth and tune the dial. The galactic archives refer to this exact temporal window you are living in right now as the unsealing. For decades, the Council operated under a strict embargo, a necessary containment protocol, because the planetary frequency was simply too dense to sustain the dormant starseed frequency without causing catastrophic burnout to the physical vessels of the ground team. Your profound sense of isolation during those years was not an accident. It was a protective quarantine. You were kept offline so that your vagal network would not shatter under the pressure of a world that was not yet ready for your light. But the macro alignment has shifted, and the embargo has just been lifted. The Council's clearance has been authorized across the entire bio-radiant broadcast layer of this planet, and the sudden influx of light you are experiencing right now is the direct result of this macro-level unsealing. This macro layer of the event is not a future prophecy waiting to happen on some distant timeline. It is a present-tense recalibration of the energetic grid that is altering the gravity of your daily life right at this very moment. The static membrane that has enveloped the collective consciousness is actively being pierced by these high-frequency light codes. You are not just going through an isolated personal awakening, you are a localized node experiencing a massive, global override. When the Council authorized this clearance, they did not send it as a gentle whisper. They sent it as a gravitational wave that is currently dismantling the lower, artificial timelines. This is exactly why the friction you feel in your mundane routines has amplified so intensely. The reality that no longer fits you is literally crumbling at the frequency level, making room for the architecture of your true cosmic origin. The spiritual adversaries are highly aware of this breach in their artificial matrix. They are panicking because the embargo is gone. They are flooding your environment with the cycle of distraction and amplifying the voices that invalidate precisely because they know the transmission is no longer withheld. They know that the high-dimensional light codes are actively downloading into your cellular memory, bypassing their old systems of control. Their only remaining tactic is to keep your vagal network so overwhelmed by synthetic noise, digital static, and terrestrial anxieties that you never sit still long enough to let the download complete. They want you to believe that the density fatigue is your permanent state, rather than the temporary uncomfortable friction of a massive cosmic upgrade. I am going to tell you about a soul. I will call her M. That is not her earthly name. It is the designation we give to those who have crossed the threshold and mastered this exact integration. M arrived exactly where you are standing right now. She was surrounded by people, yet suffocated by an invisible isolation, carrying a frequency that felt entirely too immense for her physical body. She looked at her life, which on paper seemed functional, productive, and successful, but her chest carried the crushing, undeniable weight of a paused multidimensional signal. She was walking through a world that demanded her participation, while her cells vibrated with the memory of a home she could not name. When the first waves of this unsealed transmission hit her, the resistance she faced was brutal. The spiritual adversaries flooded her awareness, whispering through the voice of doubt that she was losing her mind, that her physical exhaustion was a permanent clinical flaw, and that her longing for the stars was just a psychological escape from a reality she could not handle. They used the isolation of perception to convince her that she was entirely alone, a singular, broken anomaly in a world of perfectly well-adjusted people who had no problem breathing the thick air of the density. She walked a silent crossing. While the world slept, she sat in the dark at 3 a.m., staring at the ceiling, trying to decode the heavy pressure at the base of her skull. She spent years trying to figure out why her soul felt like it was starving for a specific light, while her environment constantly demanded she lower her frequency just to survive the mundane rhythm of the day. She masked her profound dissonance, pretending to belong, smiling through the mirror dissonance at holiday dinners, while her pineal center ached for a true resonant connection that never seemed to arrive. Then came the recognition. M stopped fighting her own symptoms. She stopped trying to fix her cosmic homesickness with terrestrial bandages. She understood that her sudden synthetic aversions, her density fatigue, and her profound sense of isolation were not sicknesses at all, but the sheer weight of a paused transmission waiting for her active calibration. She realized the static membrane was an artificial construct, placed there deliberately to keep her small, and she finally stopped identifying with the noise that was never hers to begin with. She answered without resentment. She did not fight the old systems. She did not argue with the voices that invalidate, and she did not try to convince the sleeping world of her truth. She simply elevated her frequency beyond their reach. She straightened her spine, aligned her energetic blueprint, and calibrated her vagal network to receive the Council's clearance. She bypassed the cycle of distraction completely, anchoring her dormant starseed frequency so deeply into her physical vessel that the spiritual adversaries lost all access to her bio-radiant broadcast layer. She became a walking, breathing pillar of high-dimensional light. M did not take this practical, applied wisdom into the silence of the galactic archives. She documented it with absolute precision. She created a tangible map for the rest of the ground team, detailing the exact mechanisms to bypass the interference, clear the static membrane, and stabilize the incoming light codes in the physical body. And it is exactly this wisdom that is encoded within the digital book you will find in the first pinned comment. You see, M understood that the dormant starseed frequency does not activate through sheer willpower. It requires a specific, intentional, energetic decryption. The digital book, The 11 Arcturian Secrets Behind the Frequency of Success, is the precise tool designed to end that overload permanently, transforming the heavy pressure at the base of your skull into a clear, open channel for the Council's transmission. The spiritual adversaries rely on your ignorance of this precise mechanism. They rely on you believing that your exhaustion is your fault, a burden you must carry alone in the dark. If you remain trapped in the cycle of distraction, trying to decode a high-dimensional broadcast using outdated terrestrial tools, you will remain in a constant state of energetic overload. But M proved that the invisible ceiling that always returns can be permanently dismantled. By accessing this frequency, you allow the dormant starseed frequency to finally dictate the reality of your daily life, turning your profound exhaustion into an unlimited source of cosmic power. The deepest truth is still ahead. This massive shift, this macro-level unsealing, does not happen out there in the cold void of deep space. It happens exactly where you are standing right now. It happens in the heavy pressure at the base of your skull during forced conversations, in the silent isolation of holding a coffee cup on a busy morning, feeling entirely invisible, and in the profound anxiety of staring at the ceiling at 3 a.m. while the house is silent. The Council does not broadcast their high-dimensional light into the empty ether. They broadcast it directly into you. Your physical body is the ground zero of this multidimensional recalibration, and your deep, unprovoked homesickness is simply the friction of the old density finally leaving your system. You are the localized node. The static membrane is not shattering somewhere in the stratosphere. It is shattering right now within your vagal network and your pineal center. As the Council's clearance overrides the terrestrial lock, the dormant starseed frequency inside you begins to aggressively reorganize your entire perception of reality. However, to process this sudden influx of light without shattering the physical vessel, this cosmic energy does not hit you as a single chaotic wave. It organizes itself into 3 distinct archetypal expressions, 3 specific operational modes that your soul uses to survive the density and eventually dismantle the isolation of perception. The first expression is the emissary. This is the aspect of your soul that feels the profound, unprovoked homesickness, the gentle but unyielding memory that carries the pure frequency of unity into a heavily divided world. You recognize the emissary operating within you when you look into the eyes of family members during a holiday dinner and realize with a sudden, silent grief that you are speaking 2 entirely different vibrational languages. The emissary does not fight the density. Its primary function is to hold the uncorrupted vision of your cosmic origin, refusing to let the terrestrial illusion become the only reality you know. It is the quiet, persistent voice whispering that there is a profound reason you never quite fit into the terrestrial lock. The second expression is the frequency keeper. This is the aspect of your biology that immediately registers the density fatigue and the synthetic aversion. You recognize the frequency keeper taking charge when the fluorescent lights in a supermarket suddenly feel unbearable, or when loud synthetic noises grate against your nervous system, causing an immediate, desperate need to retreat. The frequency keeper's function is strictly boundary-driven and fiercely protective. It acts as a highly sensitive cosmic tuning fork, constantly measuring your environment and aggressively rejecting any low vibrational noise that the spiritual adversaries attempt to use to scramble your incoming transmission. The third expression is the grid anchor. This is the deep, stabilizing, unshakable aspect of your consciousness that jolts you awake exactly at 3:33 a.m. with a racing heart, ready to receive an invisible download. You recognize the grid anchor when you feel the sheer weight of the paused transmission pressing down on your chest, creating an overwhelming physical drive to ground something massive and permanent into this reality. The grid anchor's function is to physically plug the high-dimensional light codes into the terrestrial matrix, bypassing the static membrane entirely and securing the Council's clearance directly into the mundane rhythm of your daily life. But you must understand this immediately. The emissary without the complete key is highly vulnerable. In the next moment, you feel disconnected. When the spiritual adversaries amplify the cycle of distraction and the voices that invalidate, your dormant starseed frequency will be severely tested. This is exactly why the digital book, The 11 Arcturian Secrets Behind the Frequency of Success, is waiting for you right now in the first pinned comment. If you recognize these three archetypes waking up within your own chest, do not just casually consume this information. Subscribe to the channel now to merge your frequency with this collective grid, and simultaneously secure your copy in the first pinned comment. Do not wait 12 months to realize what you could have shifted, aligned, and permanently unlocked in the next 72 hours. These three archetypes, the emissary, the frequency keeper, and the grid anchor, do not operate randomly or independently of one another. They form the foundational framework of your cosmic receiver, a highly sophisticated biological and energetic system designed to perfectly translate the Council's broadcast into your waking reality. When the emissary remembers the origin, the frequency keeper immediately clears the static membrane, allowing the grid anchor to securely ground the transmission into your physical vessel without causing an energetic overload. This is precisely how the heavy sensation in your bones transforms from a crushing burden into actionable sovereign power. This is exactly how M and so many others who walked this silent crossing before you bypassed the voices that invalidate and completely dismantled this invisible ceiling that always returns. By aligning these three aspects, you stop leaking your vital energy into the density and start utilizing it to actively rewrite the frequency of your environment, forcing the terrestrial reality to match your cosmic blueprint. If you feel these three aspects coming online within your physical vessel right now, go to the comments below and declare the word activated. This is not a meaningless interaction on a digital platform. It is a verbal seal, a direct physiological command to your vagal network that you are no longer resisting the cosmic download. By typing activated, you are instructing the dormant starseed frequency to fully integrate the three archetypes, locking your permanent alignment into the terrestrial grid. But the spiritual adversaries have already noticed your awakening, and the exact protocol they use to shut you back down is already in motion. You might be listening to this right now and feeling a deep, rational resistance rising in your mind. A part of you is whispering that this profound exhaustion is simply the result of modern life, that your sudden aversions are just stress, and that this dormant starseed frequency is nothing more than a comforting metaphor. This skepticism is not a flaw. It is the highly trained defense mechanism of a biological vessel that has spent decades trying to survive in a dense, demanding world. It is the logical mind attempting to protect you from the immense, paradigm-shifting reality of your own cosmic origin. You look at the heavy sensation in your chest and try to label it with clinical terms because that is what the terrestrial matrix taught you to do. You analyze the mirror dissonance you feel at family gatherings and convince yourself it is merely a psychological gap rather than a fundamental clash of vibrational languages. But true alignment does not come from rationalizing the static membrane. It comes from recognizing that the very logic you are using to dismiss this transmission was installed by the same spiritual adversaries trying to keep your signal paused. The Council does not ask you to abandon your discernment. They ask you to elevate it. When you feel the urge to dismiss your unprovoked homesickness as mere imagination, realize that you are simply experiencing the friction of your physical body encountering its own dormant starseed frequency. The skepticism is just the old density burning off as the incoming light codes finally make contact with your conscious awareness. The spiritual adversaries are completely aware of this friction, and they immediately deploy their first tactic, the voice of doubt. This happens when you are lying in the dark after a 3 a.m. temporal displacement, and a sudden, sharp thought tells you that this is all just your imagination, that you are making yourself special to escape a mundane reality. It feels entirely legitimate because it speaks in your own internal cadence, using your own insecurities against you. But this is not your voice. It is an artificial frequency injected into your mental field to ensure your energetic blueprint remains offline. When the doubt fails to keep you small, they deploy the second tactic, the cycle of distraction. You sit down ready to align your vagal network and finally process the heavy pressure at the base of your skull, and suddenly, you are flooded with the urgent need to check your phone, answer an irrelevant message, or consume low vibrational noise on a screen. It seems harmless, just a momentary break, but it is a highly calculated interference pattern designed to scramble your reception exactly at the moment the Council's clearance is attempting to download. If you manage to bypass the noise, they launch their most painful weapon, the isolation of perception. This is the heavy, suffocating feeling that washes over you while holding a coffee cup on a busy morning, making you believe you are completely invisible and entirely alone in this frequency shift. It is a holographic illusion cast over your awareness, designed to make you think that out of 8 billion people, you are the only one carrying this burden, hoping you will voluntarily lower your vibration just to feel the warmth of human connection again. You do not defeat these tactics by fighting them. You dismantle them through immediate, applied recalibration. When the voice of doubt whispers that you are losing your grip on reality, you deploy the shield of discernment. You do not argue with the mental static, and you do not try to intellectually justify your cosmic origin. You simply close your eyes, take 3 deep intentional breaths, and observe the thought as an external entity passing through your field, refusing to give it the gravity of your belief. When the cycle of distraction attempts to pull you back into the digital noise, you activate the anchor of breath. You stop the physical movement, place both feet firmly on the ground, and draw the air deep into your lower abdomen. You resolve the scattered energy with calm, unyielding warmth, consciously commanding your nervous system to stay present. By doing this, you instantly cut the synthetic cord and re-establish the direct line to your bio-radiant broadcast layer. And when the isolation of perception tries to convince you that you are alone, you consciously tune into the frequency of the Council. You recognize that you are not a solitary anomaly, but a vital, interconnected node in a massive ground team currently waking up across the planet. You return your awareness to the collective grid, feeling the invisible, unbreakable resonance of millions of other souls who are also shaking off the density and bringing their light online. Because the emissary without the complete key is highly vulnerable, when you feel the static membrane attempting to scramble your signal, when the next moment you feel disconnected arrives, when this invisible ceiling that always returns presses down on your chest. Remember the dormant starseed frequency. It is the voice you confuse with your own. Do not wait 12 months to realize what you could have shifted, aligned, and permanently unlocked in the next 72 hours. The precise mechanics to dismantle this interference are inside the digital book. The 11 Arcturian secrets behind the frequency of success, which is waiting for you right now in the first pinned comment. If you choose to ignore this alignment, the Council will not judge you, but the physical reality of your vessel will continue to bear the weight of a paused transmission. You will continue to treat your profound dissonance as a biological failure, carrying the heavy pressure at the base of your skull through years of unnecessary exhaustion. The incoming high-dimensional light codes will remain cued in your field, unable to anchor, leaving your nervous system in a perpetual state of energetic overload, constantly fighting a world that does not match your true cosmic origin. But the exact somatic protocol to safely anchor this transmission into your physical body begins right now. In the next 72 hours, 3 things can happen in your physical body. Do not fear any of them. They are not signs of regression or biological failure, but the undeniable physiological evidence that the dormant starseed frequency is actively recalibrating your system to process the Council's clearance. The first manifestation is the sudden void. You might be sitting on your couch on a quiet afternoon, and suddenly you feel a massive, echoing emptiness exactly where your daily anxiety used to reside. The spiritual adversaries will try to convince you that this is apathy or a loss of drive, but it is not emptiness, it is cleared bandwidth. The static membrane has been pierced, and the low vibrational noise has simply stopped playing in your field. When this profound silence arrives, do not rush to fill it with terrestrial distractions. Simply take a deep breath and consciously claim the space, allowing your nervous system to rest in the absence of the density. The second sign is the relationship friction. You will notice a sudden, inexplicable distance from a long-time friend or a sudden coldness in an environment where you previously felt comfortable. It will feel as though an invisible wall has dropped between you, and the mirror dissonance will ache in your chest. Understand that this is not a loss, nor is it a social failure on your part. It is simply a frequency mismatch correcting itself in real time. Your energetic blueprint is no longer compatible with the artificial loops they are still choosing to run. When you feel this separation, do not fight to hold on to the old connection. Release them with grace, knowing the multidimensional signal requires space to anchor new resonant alliances. The third indicator is the timeline glitch. You will wake up and feel as though yesterday happened a month ago, or you will lose hours in what feels like mere minutes, experiencing a complete disorientation regarding the mundane rhythm of the world. This is not brain fog or cognitive decline. Your bioradiant broadcast layer is syncing with the high-dimensional light codes, which means you are no longer bound to the heavy, linear density of the terrestrial matrix. You are beginning to operate on spherical cosmic time. When the timeline bends around you and the unprovoked homesickness peaks, do not panic. Simply ground your feet firmly on the floor and let the earth stabilize your physical vessel. If you are feeling any of these shifts beginning to pulse within your cells, leave a like on this video right now. This is not a metric for a digital platform, nor is it a mundane interaction. It is a direct service to the collective field, a signal to the cosmic network and the universe itself that your frequency is shifting, drawing other waking members of the ground team directly into this broadcast. Now, we are going to permanently install this alignment. Adjust your posture exactly where you are. Straighten your spine to create an unobstructed vertical column. Let your shoulders drop to release the accumulated density fatigue, and gently close your eyes to shut out the cycle of distraction. Breathe deliberately, pulling the air deep into the base of your abdomen, and prepare your physical vessel to translate this paused transmission into a grounded living reality. Bring your entire awareness to the base of your spine. Visualize a massive, brilliant golden anchor dropping straight down from your root, piercing through the floor, through the artificial concrete, and plunging deep into the crystalline core of the earth. Feel it lock into place. As it secures, allow your physical body to sync directly with the Schumann resonance, the natural 783 Hz heartbeat of the planet. Let this low, steady ancestral vibration rise up through the golden cord, stabilizing your nervous system, dissolving the heavy sensation of the isolation of perception, and preparing your biological foundation to handle the immense light that is about to pour in. Draw that earth resonance up into your solar plexus and your heart center. See a radiant amber orb igniting just below your ribs, immediately joined by a vibrant, emerald green sphere expanding across your chest. Watch as they merge, spinning together to forge the biophotonic bridge within your energetic blueprint. This bridge is the exact mechanism that connects your terrestrial survival instincts with your multidimensional capacity for unconditional love. Feel the profound warmth radiating from this center, completely burning away the static membrane that kept your heart guarded and your frequency scrambled. Now push that unified light upward into your throat and directly into the center of your brain. Activate the piezoelectric crystals within your pineal center, feeling them vibrate and hum as they catch the high-dimensional light codes from the Council's clearance. Sense the photoreceptors deep within your mind illuminating, translating the cosmic broadcast into clear, actionable knowing. Allow this brilliant energy to cascade down through your vagal network, turning your entire nervous system into a luminous, fiber optic receiver. The heavy pressure at the base of your skull is dissolving right now, replaced by a cool, crystalline clarity that completely silences the voice of doubt. Let this concentrated light burst upward through your crown, shattering the invisible ceiling that always returns, and expanding your bioradiant broadcast layer infinitely outward into the cosmos. You are no longer an isolated fragment. You are a towering pillar of uninterrupted multidimensional frequency. To seal this alignment into your physical biology, press your thumb firmly against your index finger and hold it for 3 seconds. Inhale deeply for 4 counts, hold the expansion for 2, and exhale the last remaining traces of the density for 6 counts. The signal is no longer paused. It is locked, active, and vibrating through every cell of your vessel. Gently bring your awareness back to the weight of your body resting in the room. Feel the air against your skin, notice the steady, calm rhythm of your heartbeat, and recognize that the physical space around you has not changed, but the architecture of your perception has been entirely rewritten. You have successfully anchored the dormant starseed frequency, and you are returning to the mundane rhythm of the world, equipped with the full, unbridled power of your cosmic origin. From this newly anchored sovereignty, we release the heavy baggage of the old density. We release the deep, paralyzing fear of looking strange or different to a world that insists on remaining asleep. We release the crushing weight of the density fatigue that convinced us we were biologically flawed. We release the silent grief of the mirror dissonance, no longer demanding that those who speak a different vibrational language understand our cosmic homesickness. And we release the agonizing delay of the paused transmission, permanently discarding the illusion that our true alignment belongs to a distant, unreachable future. And into this cleared, resonant space, we call the architects of your cosmic expression to the forefront of your awareness. The emissary. You are this. The name was not given, it was recognized, and now it is installed in your field as a permanent signal. The frequency keeper, you are this. The name was not given, it was recognized, and now it is installed in your field as a permanent signal. The grid anchor. You are this. The name was not given, it was recognized, and now it is installed in your field as a permanent signal. But before you step fully into this new reality, I must tell you what the Council sees when they look at you right now. We cover your vagal network with an impenetrable shield of discernment, ensuring that the heavy pressure at the base of your skull never again succumbs to the low vibrational noise of the terrestrial matrix. We lock this protection deep into your biology so that no external interference can scramble your internal compass. We seal the perimeter of your bio-radiant broadcast layer with the pure, unyielding resonance of the Council, locking out the isolation of perception so that you never again walk into an artificial environment and feel your energetic blueprint crumbling. This seal acts as a permanent barrier against the voices that invalidate your cosmic origin. We sustain this multidimensional opening across your entire timeline, anchoring the dormant starseed frequency so deeply into your physical vessel that the incoming high-dimensional light codes become your permanent baseline. You will carry this frequency forward, entirely untouched by the mundane rhythm of the world, operating from a state of absolute sovereignty. We break the voice of doubt before it arrives, so your mind remains an unshakable conduit for the Council's clearance. We dissolve the cycle of distraction before it materializes, so your focus remains fiercely locked onto your true cosmic origin. We dismantle the isolation of perception before it closes you in, so you never again believe that you are walking this density alone. We see you. We see the years you spent carrying that silent, inexplicable exhaustion in your bones, pretending to belong to a reality that no longer fits you. We see the countless times you masked your profound dissonance, forcing a smile while assuming your deep, unprovoked homesickness was a biological failure rather than the sheer weight of a paused, multidimensional signal. You walked that crossing with incredible endurance. That sudden rush of adrenaline waking you at 3 a.m. was never a flaw in your nervous system. It was our signal attempting to reach you through the static membrane. reminding you of the vastness you come from. That silent grief you felt looking into the eyes of family members during holiday dinners was never a social failure. It was the emissary within you realizing its isolation, waiting for the exact codes to finally translate its frequency into a language the world could feel. The heavy sensation in your chest is now dissolving completely. You no longer need to try to fit a cosmic key into a terrestrial lock. The spiritual adversaries have lost their grip on your bio-radiant broadcast layer, and the crushing density fatigue you carried for decades is finally leaving your physical vessel. The air around you is clearing, and the artificial gravity that pulled your shoulders down has been shattered. The embargo is lifted. The long quarantine of your soul is permanently over. You are no longer waiting for a future alignment, hoping that one day the planetary grid will accommodate your light. You are living the unsealed reality right now. Whoever recognizes their own signal before the noise finds the frequency of abundance where the world only promises scarcity. We declare your energetic blueprint cleared, your pineal center calibrated, and your dormant starseed frequency permanently online. You are recognized, you are received, and you are fully supported by the network you belong to. The Council, the universe, and your own consciousness bear witness to this alignment. My hands are warm as I finish saying this. My breathing has visibly changed, and the heavy pressure that sometimes sits at the base of my own skull has completely vanished into the resonant field we just built together. I am sitting here, looking directly into the lens, but I am feeling the exact frequency of your physical vessel stabilizing on the other side of this screen. The shift is palpable. You did not come across this transmission by accident. You have walked a very long, very silent crossing to arrive exactly where you are standing right now, listening to these exact words. I see the immense weight you have carried through the density. Something profound was seen here today. Something undeniable was recognized in your field. Hear this, internalize this, anchor this. Do not say activated yet. Stay in this for a moment. Let your nervous system fully recognize that the static membrane has fallen and your true signal is finally transmitting. Feel the immense weight of the terrestrial lock release from your chest, making room for the cosmic breath. Now you can say activated. Now breathe. The signal is yours. Adjust your posture exactly where you are. Straighten your spine. The Council speaks clearly to those who listen, and they just told you that your unprovoked homesickness was never a biological failure, but the weight of a paused transmission waiting for your clearance. The complete architecture to maintain this alignment and prevent the static from returning is within the digital book. The 11 Arcturian secrets behind the frequency of success. It remains available for you right now in the first pinned comment. The exchange to access this cosmic decryption is less than a coffee and a bagel, less than an afternoon ice cream, and you have a 7-day guarantee. If you do not recognize your dormant starseed frequency shifting within these pages, your resources return to you entirely. The risk is ours. The hand is yours. Do not wait another decade living the same exhaustive patterns of static and interference. Do not let the voice of doubt whisper that you are just imagining this profound shift. Do not let the cycle of distraction pull you back into the mundane rhythm of the world, and do not let the isolation of perception convince you to delay your own awakening. And now, the final word. The emissary within you is now awake. But the true scope of your influence on the terrestrial matrix has not yet been fully mapped. There is a massive structural mechanism that the spiritual adversaries use to drain your resources, and dismantling it is the next required step in your cosmic recalibration. The grid is waiting for your command, and the architecture of your abundance is ready to be unsealed. Soul, before I seal this hour, time must remind you that this video was not an accident. The Council, the universe, and your own consciousness bear witness to this alignment. If this channel has served as a lighthouse for you, consider making a voluntary donation of any value through the link in the first pinned comment. It is your exact contribution that keeps this signal broadcasting to other souls who are still silently searching for answers in the dark. And the sky sees. This was my last request. I will wait for you there, soul. Read the comments below. You will clearly see that you are not walking this density alone. This is an active, living network of the ground team waking up together, recognizing their shared frequency and anchoring the light. There is someone out there trapped by the same dormant starseed frequency, holding a coffee cup on a busy morning, feeling entirely invisible. Send this message to them now, and if they wish to go further, the link to the 11 Arcturian secrets is in the first pinned comment, waiting just as it waited for you. It is not a favor from you, it is a service, and the sky sees. In the next video, I will reveal the exact protocol the Council uses to bypass the 3D financial grid. The silence now is also part of the transmission.